Hey guys, my name is Nitendra, I'm 12 years old and I'm presently studying in 8th standard. So today I'm going to explain to you about force. Well, what is force? Force is basically the action used to change the state of an object. For example, if I push a table, it changes its state into rest state from a moving state. When I throw a ball, it changes its position. If I throw the ball here, it will land somewhere about 10 to 15 feet in a distance. Now the ball will change position and it can also be used to change shape. How, you might ask me? Take a duster or a sponge and press it. First it was nicely uniform and rectangular. Now it's not very uniform and rectangular. Yes. So let's learn about the types of force. Okay. The first type of force is contact force, and there are 4 types in contact force. I will be explaining to you about them. The first force in contact force is muscular force. What is muscular force? Muscular force is basically using your muscles to do some activity. For example, this is a bench. Just think that there is a bench here. My hand is a duster. I have placed it on the bench. I am using my hand to take up the duster. There is contact between the duster and my hand. So this is known as contact force. Walking also counts as a contact force and a frictional force. I will explain about friction later. Okay, contact force is basically, muscular force is basically when you use your muscles to do some activity like pushing a table, as I said now, lifting a duster or a bag, etc. And then there is frictional force. Friction is the resistance of a body moving on the surface of another body. If you don't know what that means, let me simplify it for you. When I roll a ball like this, the ball will go some distance and stop. But you might be asking me, why can't it go on forever? Because on the surface of the tiles, when the ball rolls, it creates a force which is trying to put the ball in rest position. This force is known as friction force. It is always like a resistance to the moving body and is trying to stop it. Okay, the third force is tension. Tie a stone to a rubber band and just do it like this. Hold it from a very high position. What will happen? The rubber band will stretch in order to hold the stone, which is getting pulled by gravity. Of course, I will explain to you about gravity in non-contact forces, but not now, just stick to tension. The force which is acting opposite to gravity and stretching the rubber band and keeping the stone from not falling down to the ground is known as tension force. Next force is normal force. Normal force is always opposite to gravity. For example, if we place something like a glass of water on a table, gravity is pulling it down. So you might be asking me, why isn't it going down? Well, there's a force known as the normal force which is opposite to the gravity and puts it in equilibrium. But you might be asking me, why does gravity pull down a ball? That's because the ball was using its force to go up, and then, as you know, all things which must go up must come down. So gravity will pull the ball down. But in this case, it's something different. Okay guys, just try to keep up with me. And the next type of force is non-contact force. In non-contact force, there are 3 types of force. They are gravitational force, magnetic force and electrostatic force. I will tell you about gravity. Yes, the earth acts like a magnet and pulls everything towards it. We have learned this in 4th or 5th standard, but gravity is a force which exerts pressure, which is like a magnet. It pulls down every object with mass towards the earth. If we didn't have gravity, we would just float into space, and if we jumped once, we would float into space. Now you might be asking me, why can we jump on the moon so high? Because it is because of gravity. The moon has less mass than the earth. More mass equals more gravity. Remember this is very important. The moon is smaller than earth and therefore it has less mass, which means less gravity. And the sun is the hugest. 1% of the solar system's mass. This is why the sun is able to keep all the planets in orbit. Okay, let's go to magnetic force. I kept a magnet here and an iron nail here. What will happen? Even when they are though not touching, the magnetic field surrounding the magnet will pull the iron nail towards the magnet and it gets attached. There is no contact between these two, but these two will stick together. That is because of the magnetic field and magnetic force. Same with gravity. Throw a ball up like this. There is no contact between the ball and the floor, but the ball will come down because gravity. And then there is electrostatic force. Electrostatic force basically explains that differently charged particles will attract each other. Plus VE attracts minus VE. To prove this, we will do an experiment. Take a comb or a plastic scale, rub it against your hair in one direction, take some small paper pieces and put it here. And when you put the scale near to the paper pieces, they will automatically get attached to the scale. Don't use contact, just leave a little gap. The paper will come and automatically attract to the paper scale. Because we rubbed it against our hair and this action caused the particles in the scale to become differently charged than the particles in the paper. And as you know, differently charged particles attract each other. This is electrostatic force. Okay guys, bye. Hope you enjoyed the video.